It's Motivation Monday, and this week we're bringing you the Guy's Guide to Valentine's Day. So we're starting with the hardest thing of all, lingerie.
Let's face it, you have to be a brave soul to venture to buy for a woman's boudoir.
I think number one is do your homework. Make sure that you know what styles she likes, what sizes she is.
Gloria Ressa of House of Dames says don't go in blind on a lingerie buy.
Be a little bit sneaky, look at her bra size, look at the stuff that she wears, the colors that she likes.
Because if you want your lady to wear it, it's not about what you like, it's about what she likes. And it shouldn't be a guessing game right down to how it will fit.
We use this to kind of show the different body types. Right now it's at a medium size, and you move it around and you put it in different sizes.
Even though it's easier to go for the tried and true fuzzy cute PJs you know she will like, here's a tip to take it to the next level you may like more.
You don't want anything that's cotton and it's too hard and rough. You want something soft and comfortable.
But the fact is lingerie and love don't always go together. You gotta check yourself before you... Well, you know how this goes.
So you definitely want to gauge the relationship too, where you're at in the relationship. If it's a newer relationship, you don't want to scare her off either.
Maybe the relationship is appropriate for a lingerie gift, but she's scared or apprehensive of how she might look in it.
A little bit of wine won't hurt.
Gloria actually wasn't really joking about that, but she says there's something so much more successful.
Just making her feel beautiful. I think as long as you make her feel gorgeous and beautiful, then she's definitely more willing to open up to trying different things. So as long as you make her feel gorgeous and perfect and beautiful, and all you care about is how she feels and looks, then I think that's key.
Tomorrow we'll look at one of the oldest traditions of Valentine's Day, and the newest too, edibles. No, not underwear, silly. Chocolate. KFOX 14, Carpe Diem. It's T-minus 4 days and counting until Valentine's Day. Chocolate stores all across the country are cranking it up.
24 hours a day right now, just to make everything ready to go.
In the borderland, the owner of Chocolat says she sees a lot of holiday chocolates come and go, but there is nothing like February 14th.
It's a different holiday altogether. We have to stock up because by the end of Valentine, usually maybe a day before Valentine's Day, there is not one morsel left.
And the thing that sells out first, dark chocolate.
People recognize it as being an aphrodisiac, so a lot of men come and buy multiple bags. So that's the first thing that sells out. They start ordering in January.
Keep that in mind in case someone hands you a bag of dark chocolate this weekend.
How does it work? I mean, why does it work that way?
The brain and the chemicals and so forth, it's a very natural product. We don't put any preservatives in our chocolate.
When you have that snap, and it's a sign that the chocolate is very, very fresh.
And Lee says if you leave these mice alone too long, even they will reproduce.
These are more mice. These mice sell like crazy at Valentine's Day.
The thing about chocolate is that it doesn't have to be extravagant. It can be really simple, and it can be for diabetics. Here at Chocolat, they make chocolate for diabetics from scratch. I'm going to try some. I'm here with Lee. What is this, Lee?
This is a fabulous cashew caramel cluster.
Sounds amazing. Let's see. Well, I never did meet a chocolate I didn't like, but this is really good.
It's a mixture of sweets, of taste.
Another viable Valentine's option for the palate is a cupcake, or a lot of cupcakes, which there are many options now that more cupcake boutiques are popping up all over El Paso.
Especially whenever it's the red velvet, shaped in a heart, and he gave me one for my birthday, and I just thought it was very sweet of him.
But whether you give chocolate in the form of cupcakes or candies from scratch, the gesture is a Valentine's tradition for a reason.
When chocolate was first discovered, it was discovered by an emperor that used to add water to it and only give it to his very important guests. And people realized that people would feel differently. It was comparable to drinking alcohol.
Tomorrow,
I think the zoo is doing something where you can name a cockroach after someone.
local designer Laura Carrillo gives us the scoop on some of the crazy things people have delivered on Valentine's Day and how to make your way through Valentine's Day flower etiquette. KFOX 14, Carpe Diem. If you speak the language of love, you know many things are said without words. A lot can be said with a flower, but you have to get the color right to send the right message, especially on Valentine's Day.
If you're in a very serious relationship, go with red. Nothing exudes more passion than red. If you're in a more, the earlier stages of a relationship, I would go with pink, just to kind of not be so forward. Or if you're barely trying to get into a relationship, pink is a good neutral color to kind of ease your way into someone's heart. Lavender is also a very good color to go with. It represents royalties. Yellow is also a beautiful color. It represents friendship. The one color I do not suggest is white, because even though it's used a lot in weddings, it represents purity and innocence. It also represents, sympathy. So you don't want to send someone sympathy flowers during Valentine's Day.
What if you get a plant?
I would probably toss it.
Designer Laura Carrillo says Valentine's Day is definitely not the day for a practical plant, but it can be the day for a practical prank.
The zoo is doing something where you can name a cockroach after someone.
Laura says that's the kind of thing that is getting more popular on Valentine's Day for florists. Black roses are not an uncommon request.
Has anybody ever asked for black roses?
Yes, we've had that request. Also wilted flowers. We've had requests to send, to the ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend, especially after they've recently been scorned. We did have a guy that he had recently been cheated on, so he did request that we send the ugliest, smelliest flowers, and we did send dead baby's breath, and that's probably the worst smell that you can get.
But why even bother, you may ask? Flowers die, and true love lasts forever. Laura doesn't get mushy about this. She says if you're a guy, your butt may be on the line.
People complain that it's too commercial and everything, but you still have to get something for your significant other. There's no way around it.
To that end, she admits flowers are expensive, and the closer you get to Valentine's Day, the worse it gets.
You can always come pick it up, because delivery is what gets pricey as well. So you can save some money picking it up. Your practical side will want to go to the supermarket to get flowers. They're very expensive and the quality is the worst.
And she suggests you get the most for your buck.
Yes, we do have a lot of secret admirers.
Take the moment to impress someone you don't know how to approach, or have something else delivered with the flowers. She says anything goes.
We have had very interesting gifts as well with the flowers. So we've had, people that'll bring us a Rolex watch, they'll bring us puppies, they'll bring us these, amazing pieces of jewelry. We had one guy bring an amazing pair of Christian Louboutin shoes.
And she says most florists welcome the challenge of incorporating a gift.
If you are going to bring a puppy, please let us know ahead of time so we can prepare.
Speaking of being prepared, do you have dinner reservations yet? If you don't, we've got you covered tomorrow. KFOX 14 Carpe Diem. For some people, Valentine's Day is kind of a big deal. Other people sometimes forget to make dinner reservations.
They do have options. They can try and sneak in, get on the wait list. They can come and hang out at the bar for a little bit. They can try and grease the hostess. That probably won't work too well.
Aaron Means of Mesa Street Grill has some tips on what to do if you are in a jam for a nice Valentine's dinner out. First off, you're risking an awkward moment if you try to bribe the hostess for a table.
The hostesses are dealing with full tables already. You're not going to be able to sneak in a table. Plus, they'll have to push a reservation, and that'll get them probably in trouble with the next party.
Aaron says you're better off just ordering the food from the restaurant to go before you pick up your date.
That's probably the best plan. Pick up to go, grab a bottle of wine, and recreate the experience at home.
But even that requires a little bit of planning.
Call ahead. I would call earlier enough in the day with an order so that the restaurant's prepared.
If you're forced to be more spontaneous and cook yourself, don't pick now to try to be an Iron Chef. Keep it simple.
If you're only good at steaks, pick up some sides from us, pick up a bottle of wine, and go from there.
And if you're thinking of taking the Valentine's meal outside, it's a nice idea, but
If you're not able to pull it off at your house, chances of you being able to do it at a picnic are pretty slim.
And remember, one advantage you have is that Valentine's Day falls on a weekend this year.
I would never throw in the towel. I would change the plan. Go the night before, go the night after. Like I said, do a brunch the morning of. Just make it look like you planned it that way the whole time.
It's almost go time, and tomorrow is Gear Friday and this week's Guy's Guide to Valentine's Day. Cape Fox 14, Carpe Diem. It's Gear Friday, and this week it's been the Guy's Guide to Valentine's Day.
People complain that it's too commercial and everything, but you still have to get something for your significant other. You can't, there's no way around it.
In fact, it is absolutely one of the most, and some say the most, commercial holiday of the year.
We decorate with fresh caramel, roasted pecans.
The last-minute rush can add up.
That is the freshest possible chocolate you can ever find anywhere around.
Which is why most things, even on this holiday, are often about quality, not quantity. You only need a couple of good pieces of chocolate, not necessarily an entire box. And maybe you don't need a 5-course meal either.
If you're only good at steaks, pick up some sides from us, pick up a bottle of wine, and go from there.
Getting things cooking somewhere other than the kitchen doesn't have to be complicated either.
Lingerie is just sexy. I think as long as you feel comfortable in what you're wearing, then you can do anything. It doesn't even matter what the color is or what the fit is. I mean, as long as you feel comfortable in it, I think ultimately that's the ultimate goal.
You don't have to leave with half the store. A little something is okay. Lingerie is just a little secret the two of you share.
It's not something that you just wear out in public, so it is a very intimate moment. So it's something, when you think about it, it's something exciting, it's something different.
A national survey by Impulse Research showed that the reality is you can skip the store as long as you can be creative on your own.
You only have 1 minute to really impress someone. So I would suggest that you make that moment count. And even though, yes, those flowers might wilt and you'll toss them the next week, but they will never forget that moment when they open the door and they receive this beautiful bouquet. And you know what? They'll never forget that.
And for most people, matters of the heart far outweigh the more materialistic aspects of the holiday. All you really have to give is something meaningful. Good luck, guys. Cape Fox 14, Carpe Diem.